My journey in Star Wars, it started basically as an infant. I remember seeing some pictures in my little scrapbooks that my parents had made of me wearing an Episode One hat as a baby, like a little baby version. And so I will always say the Phantom Menace, just because that one hits hard to me, and I love it. And that was my first movie I saw. Rebels.
Hey guys, Edge of Jedi Lex, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Tatooine, where I bring on different collectors to talk about how their love of Star Wars originated, as well as take a look at and chat about their collections. And on today's episode, I have Brent from the Nerdy Brent channel. So how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm stoked to be here. Life is good.
I'm excited to have you on, get to know you a little bit more. I know you were just at San Diego Comic Con, so lots of exciting things that are going on.
Oh yeah, lots going on all the time. It's great.
So for people who may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about your channel, what you focus on, and where people can find you at?
For sure. So my channel is called Nerdy Brent. That's across like all platforms from X to YouTube to TikTok to Instagram, all that. Same name, same me. I am most active on Instagram. It's kind of my staple, my anchor right there. I am trying to branch out into the others, obviously, but the main thing that I do is nerdy stuff. It just happens to mean the majority Star Wars and celebrating that great fandom. I am starting to branch out a little bit more into everything else that I love and thrive on in life, but it's mostly been Star Wars and just nerding out. So that's a little bit about me.
Gotcha. What other stuff are you kind of into besides Star Wars?
So the funny thing is in high school I was known to be a huge Harry Potter fan, and I had read all the books. I made a goal to read them all my senior year in high school, like 10 years ago. And I read all of the books in a month, and I was like loving it. And I had so much Harry Potter lore on my brain 24/7. So I loved that. Obviously, I love Marvel. Spider-Man is one of my favorite superheroes. And then I'm not as big into Lord of the Rings as other people are, but I do enjoy a good Lord of the Rings movie. So yeah, just kind of all the classics.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel's pretty big. And speaking of Spider-Man, I think they just announced or started showing the new like suit for the new movie that's coming out. What are your thoughts on that? I know it's not Star Wars related, but I saw that this morning and I thought it was
I
pretty cool.
No, I saw that too. I think it's great. I love all the new costumes that we get and new suits. And I'm gonna be honest, I might want to get a Spidey suit here soon. But I love the new design, and I'm excited to see what the story is.
Okay, so a possible Spider-Man cosplay in the future. Who
I
knows?
know, who knows?
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start with my first question is
Okay.
what kind of was your introduction to Star Wars and what made you fall in love with the fandom?
Good question. So my journey in Star Wars, it started basically as an infant. I remember seeing some pictures in my little scrapbooks that my parents had made of me wearing an Episode One hat as a baby, like a little baby version. And so I think it started there because my dad grew up loving Star Wars, and it was funny because we had a conversation like a while ago about, how 10 years ago Star Wars it wasn't as big into pop culture as it is today. Like it has definitely blown up, and he's like, it's so cool because growing up, I would always. He was grew up in LA. He's like, I grew up and I always was like kind of the outcast for liking Star Wars and just wasn't everywhere. But now I'm seeing it on bumper stickers. I'm seeing it in the stores, people with tattoos, all these Star Wars things, and it's so great. And I'm like, I love that too. So he is kind of the reason Star Wars has been something have been interested in because it's been like our bonding thing. I always see pictures of like our little scrapbooks. I have like a little digital frame on our counter, and I see some pictures. And there was one Christmas where I had like I don't know like a dozen or so Lego Star Wars sets behind me on Christmas morning back in the day. So it's just been something my dad and I have just loved and bonded over for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing across a lot of people's experience and introduction to Star Wars is their father is always the reason. I know mine was. He definitely introduced me to Star Wars and that's still to this day something that we chat about. He's definitely not as into it as I have become, but we always talk about the new shows that are coming out. Like it's definitely a thing. So,
Definitely.
and then I guess we'll start with what's your favorite movie?
Gosh. Star Wars related, I'm guessing. I will always say The Phantom Menace just because that one hits hard to me and I love it. And that was my first movie I saw, right? I love Darth Maul. I love a good yellow N1 starfighter and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. It's just to me that's like the epitome of Star Wars and I it's my anchor. It's my roots right there.
Yeah, episode one was the first one I definitely remember watching, and I'm a big Jar Jar fan. I know that's
Oh
not a
yes.
common thing across the OT generation. They weren't Jar
Yes.
Jar fans, but I think he's the reason I love Star Wars is because I found him so funny and relatable and clumsy and stuff. But speaking of the N1, I know that at the panel they had announced that there was going to be like a life size N1 in the George Lucas Museum. Is that something you're going to try to see someday?
Absolutely. So besides Star Wars and all my socials, like as much fun as it would be to be a full-time content creator, that's not my life right now. Maybe in the future, we'll see. But my day job is in architecture, and I'm gonna get licensed as an architect later this year, so that'll be exciting. But I nerd out so much about architecture and good architectural design, and so looking into this Lucas Museum of Narrative Art was an architect's dream. I looked into who is designing it. It's called Mad Architects and based in China, I think, and they have an LA office. But they're like wacky, cool, funky designs, such unique taste on structure as opposed to just the generic warehouse you see, right? And so this museum, it resembles very sci-fi esque shapes. And yeah, and they announced that they are going to have a life size N1 starfighter in there, which is absolutely crazy. I told them to keep that thing on locks because I will take it home with me if I had the opportunity. I would love to go see it. It's opening up next year in 2026, and I'm going to see what magic I can pull to try and get there. So I know we have that full size thing. I think they said a full sized AT-AT.
I think I heard the N1 pod racer,
Pod
a
Racer and
general
Grievous's little wheel
purpose.
thing.
Yeah, but I don't know about. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't put them past it. Like, I think they could put whatever they wanted in there. Honestly,
Yeah, but yeah, life size stuff. I'm here for it. I'm ready.
yeah. I saw you posted that you had like designed like a Star Wars hotel or something the other day on your story, and I was like, oh, I wonder
Yeah.
if he's like an architect or something. And
Yeah.
funny enough,
Yeah.
I guess you were about to become someone. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's exciting. Hopefully get that pay raise.
I feel that. So moving on from movie, what is your favorite show?
Rebels,
Okay.
right off
Okay.
the bat.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's I toy between that and Clone Wars, so
Rebels.
yes. Okay.
Hmm.
So would Kanan be one of your favorite characters then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
second would be Chopper.
Chopper. That's
Yeah.
a okay, okay. He's what was your thoughts on him coming to live action then in Ahsoka?
I was so excited about that. I was like, I love this because that means that people are going to start building real life models of him. And I want to see that in person so bad. I love it.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I know some of the droid builders and stuff that go to the conventions, they usually have like a lot of the droids and stuff. And I've seen a chopper a few times. So it's pretty cool to see those. I have a 3D printer, but I don't have the time to sit there and print out all the pieces and sand it, paint
It's,
it, do all the animatronics. It's like a little 3D printer. It would take me forever, I think, to print like a life-size droid.
yeah, it takes
So
a long time, the process. It's a growing pain. It's a loving thing.
yeah, it's I mean, I've printed some small stuff, but nothing like
Yeah.
to that scale. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, those were all of, I guess, your favorite movie, show, character. You did go to San Diego Comic Con, and I do have a
Yeah.
few pictures that I'll pull up that we can kind of chat about because I know that was a very exciting experience. So we'll
Oh yeah.
start here. Got the Tron bike.
Yeah, which was so cool. So Tron, I loved the Tron Legacy. Obviously, it was so great. Being a Star Wars fan, I feel like we're always drawn to LEDs and like lighting details. And so Tron obviously it's such a cool aesthetic. And I was really excited that they had this Tron booth there. This light cycle. I've always wanted a light cycle. And so getting to sit on one was so cool. And I was cosplayed as the stranger that day, so I was like, you know what, let's just bring the lightsaber out, the stranger on a light cycle. That booth was phenomenal, incredible. I loved it so much.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know they had a. I'm not surprised they had a Tron booth because I know they're trying to advertise for the new movie, but I didn't realize they had one. But that is
Hmm.
pretty cool. And then I saw the Lego booth from a few people's
Yeah.
stories, and it looked absolutely massive, just
Hmm.
insane. What were your thoughts on just the booth itself, and then everything that you kind of saw?
Yeah, so the booth was absolutely insane. So they obviously were celebrating Comic Con as a whole. Last year they did like a space themed, and so they had like a Lego astronaut, all these things. But this year it's just an ode to the fans, an ode to the nerds. And so they had the literal mock-up of the whole San Diego Convention Center, which was crazy with some hidden Easter eggs and stuff like that on the main floor. I think it was made from like 200,000 Lego pieces, and I think it like 15 or so 1,500 hours of four people of building this, and I think they had made it in Denmark or something like that. And so what's funny is like when you go to a bakery and you see like that tall cart with like the individual trays that are like leveled out. So these little sections of the build were put onto trays similar like that and shipped out. And so I was like joking around with them, and I was like, because I'm pretty tight with the Lego people there, and I was like, where's this gonna go after San Diego Comic Con is over? Because I have a garage and this would fit perfectly in my garage. So I didn't get any feedback on that, unfortunately, but it was such a big build. And you can kind of see in the background, like above my head, there's like a little ring of fire. And behind that, there's like a little amphitheater section of what is like a replica of Hall H at the convention center. And it was a tribute to last year. And they had like a little Lego Robert Downey Jr. and like the Marvel cast on the stage and with the audience in celebration of that Doom announcement last year, and just other little sneak peeks and little tributes. There behind the Mando helmet in this picture, there's a little tribute to like earlier on in earlier San Diego Comic Cons when it was held at like a resort or hotel. They had put shark repellent in like the pool. I don't know why, but like that's what they did. And it turned the pool orange. And so there's like a little pool in the replica that's starting to turn orange and stuff like that. So obviously like little tributes of celebrated con booths from like the years past. But yeah, this was so everyone was just crowding it. So many insane different minifigs. I could sit there and watch it for hours. That was a long spiel, but yeah, I love Lego.
I am a big Lego person, as you can tell. So I was watching everyone's stories. I'm like, just the time and effort it would have take to like put that there. Then, like, I probably would have spent a couple hours just trying to look at everything. Like, I think
Yeah,
it's cool the small details that they can put into like the orange pool, things like that. Like, it's so cool what Lego can do.
yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a good vibe. One of my favorite things about it was they had like the Lego booth as it is inside this replica, right? And so it's
Hmm.
like in a booth inside the booth, but then inside that mini booth was another mini like replica of the convention center inside that replica inside, it's just like layers, inception kind of thing. It's just fun.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So, big Lego fan. What's your favorite set so far?
So far, the ones that I have behind, I mean, I grew up with a ton of Lego. And then when I went to college, it was sold, unfortunately. Big bum. So I had to like restart my collection a little bit. And if I could pick one of the ones that are in my display cases behind me, it would probably be. I mean, I'm partial to the Ghost set, this newer one, just because I love Rebels, and that was just such a fun building process. So it's either that or the Dark Falcon. One of those two, right now are my current favorites.
Yeah, the Ghost, the original one, had been one of my white whale sets for quite a while, and I was about to pull the trigger on it, and then Lego announced they were doing the Ghost and Phantom version too.
Hmm.
And I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta get it. And honestly, I love that set. I got
And
a
I
full
see it. I see it
build
behind
for
you a
it.
little bit
It's
up there.
yeah, I was like, I gotta do it. So I mean, it was still pretty expensive, but not nearly as expensive as it would have been to buy the original Ghost and Phantom. So,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, and you have it on a really cool display, a little stand up there. I
Yeah,
made stands for
Wicked
mine
Brick
too, so
did
I
a
appreciate that.
like a signature stand or something like that, and I
Heck
ended
yeah.
up buying that, and I was like, I gotta do it up. Like this is one of my favorite ships. Like, gotta do it.
They
And
deserve
it's
to be like displayed, in a way that's like you not just flat, but like show it off. I like
and
it.
you can also fit more on your shelves when you put them on the stands because then
Oh
you can
yeah.
kind of maneuver them, especially like some of the ones that you can open the wings and things like that. The stands
Hmm.
give you that functionality, whereas if it's just like laying flat on the thing, like you can't really open up some of the stuff and get that full effect. So
Yeah.
I definitely like and am an advocate for stands, and I try to put most of them up on stands when I can. But
Yeah.
it's a process collecting some stands.
Oh,
So
it takes time. I luckily I 3D print mine, and if you need files for
yeah,
stuff like that, I can help you out with that. But
that's a smart idea.
um, do you have like a Lego set that you wish that they would make?
Um, I don't know. I think they've made a lot of. Well, I really want because I know it's the Revenge of the Sith anniversary, so I really was hoping they were gonna do like a diorama of like the battle on Mustafar because I
Mm-hmm.
really like the diorama sets,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't. So that's one that I would like is like an official diorama of that scene. I think that would be really cool.
That'd be super sweet. For me, I want them so bad to make a UCS version of the Mantis from Fallen
Oh,
Order.
yeah,
I
that
would
would
love
be
that.
really cool. I don't
I
even
would
think they
love
have a
that.
play scale of it.
No, maybe
So
maybe we can start there. But I just want a big Mantis.
that would be really cool. Yeah, I the UCS sets are like a dream. Like I would love to get the Venator, but I
Yeah,
just don't know where I would put it.
that's
That's
the
my
thing.
problem.
That's the thing. Like I can clear off the top of my display case for like maybe one per display case. I don't have them yet.
Yeah, and they're not cheap either. So that's the thing too. So got to be responsible with the adult money, but most of it does
Hmm.
go to my Star Wars collection.
Here's
So
my philosophy on money. Yes, you need to obviously make a living and you need to buy, groceries. But if money's just sitting there unused, why not use it for something fun? So that's my mindset.
okay, so then in these pictures, it looks like I think this was like the George Luke or like Star Wars animation, like the 20th anniversary booth
Yep.
I don't know what the official title for it was.
So on the map, on the San Diego Comic Con map, it's called the Lucasfilm Pavilion, and that's all it is. And this year it was all the animated shows. They had a big 20 like the animated 20-year anniversary logo thing up there, and then they had Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, Resistance, um, Tales of, and then the little sneak peek of Mall Shadow. So just all of these shows that were just on Disney Plus and all the animated fun stuff. So it was really cool, like especially getting the sneak peek because Rebels translates really well into Ahsoka, the live action. Like I consider it like season 5 of Rebels, right? And so I feel like that's why they can throw things like these live action pictures in there really easily because it's the same storyline, it's the same characters from these shows. And so seeing Iman here as Ezra, oh, perfect, literally so perfect. I sat there staring at it for like 15 minutes. I was like, this is Ezra. This is Ezra right here. I love it. Great booth. Love these shows.
Yeah, it looked like a really cool booth, and I know they did like the official picture of Darth Maul for his show,
Yeah,
and then they
behind
showed
3PO over here. Yeah,
yeah, and then they showed the Amon picture, and I was like, he looks like Ezra Bridger. Like this is, I love it. It's perfect. So
I'm so
got me
glad he got
very
that role.
excited.
Oh,
Oh yeah, and he's such a genuine guy
oh my
too. Like
gosh, yes.
he's so cool. I love him. But so we do have a lot of I mean, I think I know your answer for this, but we do have quite a lot of stuff I think coming out in 2026.
Hmm.
And with Rebels being your favorite show, kind of being a continuation into Ahsoka, what is your most anticipated project of 2026?
It's really hard I anticipate literally everything Star Wars, but I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka season 2 because just because with Dave Filoni kind of running the show, he goes really lore heavy on things, and hearing about how we'll get some Mortis God kind of action and like battles and wars and some more Thrawn, which Thrawn are that's my favorite books are the Thrawn books. Um, I just think there's so much epic stuff in store for us. But I am looking forward to also obviously the Mandalorian Grogu movie. I'm almost done with my own cosplay of Din Djarin. So I'm gonna have my little baby dressed up as Grogu, and I'll be Mando, and that's gonna be like a fun little cosplay picture there. Obviously, the Maul is my favorite Sith, so that shows very much on my excited level, excited list of exciting things happening. just I I just love that we're not stopping Star Wars, and that it just keeps thriving and growing and evolving and letting the stories continue. It's just I'm grateful.
Yeah, I am definitely very excited. I know we were like shocked when they announced the mall show at Star
Yeah,
Wars Celebration, and
yeah,
I was like, this is just so exciting. And then I've now started seeing like a lot of the rumors pop up about Ahsoka season 2, such as
right.
like someone possibly playing Abeloth, and then
Yeah,
Sam Witworth maybe bringing, I think it's Starkiller in a live action, so that way he could be the son. Like, so much stuff that could happen with Ahsoka season 2. So I think that's definitely my most anticipated project.
yes,
But honestly, I'm excited for quite a lot of stuff that we're gonna get in 2026.
absolutely. We Star Wars fans stay fed kind of thing,
Always, always. And then you also have this picture, which is from the new movie that's supposed to be coming out, or is
So
it
it's
new
a
show?
show. It's a show,
Okay.
Alien Earth, and it streams, I think, in like a week or so. But yeah, they had these activation booths all around the convention center, which is always so awesome. They had this one, they had Predator Badlands, they had the Percy Jackson booth or little pavilion thingy. And there are all these like immersible walkthrough experiences that you can dive into everything. And they're long lines for the average guy, and so we had to, wait in line for it. But it's just fun because you don't have to have a badge to the convention to do these things. You're able to just go and experience the convention vibes in these booths outside of the center, which is so wonderful for everybody. And this one in particular, I've had fun with the Alien movies. They definitely scared me, but I love that they have this booth here, and it was fun. It was like a little walkthrough experience, so that's cool.
That is pretty cool. I didn't know that they were doing that. It seems like San Diego Comic Con was a really great con.
Yeah, it's the bigger. I think it's one of the biggest cons of the year, and I don't think people like LA Comic Con, they don't do things like this where they have booths outside. I think this is pretty unique to San Diego.
I think so, because I haven't heard of it, but I know San Diego is one that I really want to try to get to. And by the time they announced George Lucas and all of that, I was like, it's a little too late because I'm gonna do Rebel ScumCon like I think literally next week, and I was like,
Yeah,
I can't pull both off, so
yeah,
it's a little tough. But and then I think this is the last picture of San Diego Comic Con, and then we have some others of your collection itself. And I know the Punch It Press Chewy is gonna be at Rebel ScumCon.
yeah. You're gonna see Bella and Alex there. Yeah, it's gonna be good. That's gonna be a fun time. They have exclusive pins. I think they're gonna have some exclusive ship
Mm-hmm.
style pins there for that. Yeah, they're always such nice people, and it's so funny because I see them everywhere I go. Whenever I go to like premieres or events and things like that, they're there too. And so we've kind of inadvertently become like event besties. And so like whenever I'm there, I'm looking for them. So it's just become a fun thing.
That's pretty cool. This will be the first time that I'm like getting to like meet them and see their booth in person. I've seen their pins and stuff like that online, but I think
Yeah.
getting to see it at a con is going to
What's
be really cool.
What's great is obviously I got some pins there. I have them on my little thing up here. But so my two favorites right now is this one right here. It's like a
Oh, the Darth
really
Vader.
beautiful multicolored Vader. And then obviously me being in my Chimere cosplay, they're like, hey, you know what? Since we're buddies, let's show you what we've got. And so this awesome Chimere
Ooh,
pin.
that's really cool.
And I'm like, I gotta get a cork board or something to like put these in.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think the cork board's the easiest way to kind of display pins.
Easily the best.
Yeah. And then speaking of your collection, which we kind of see a little bit behind you, you've got quite a lot of Legos,
Yeah.
lightsabers. I see you've
Yep.
got pops, so it kind of seems like you're into a little bit of everything.
I honestly I didn't start collecting Funkos until like last year, and so yeah, I'm a little scared to see where this is gonna go.
It's a deep rabbit hole, that's for sure. Uh, Clearly, quite a lot of Funkos. That's how it started, and then I got back into Lego, and that's kind of where I've been at. But I do have a couple lightsabers, nothing like super crazy, but I do like the lightsabers, but Lego kind of captivates my attention right now.
For sure, I get that. Lego is what basically what my roots are in, and I love collecting Lego a ton. I got these display cases literally just for the Lego that I have, because I wanted them to be showed off a little bit better and treated with more love than just sitting on the floor or on a table or something like that. So
Yeah, where did you get those display cases? I haven't
I
seen those
yeah, I
before.
literally got them off of Wayfair, to be honest, and
Oh,
easy. Yeah, they were like 200 each or something like that.
not bad.
So easy to assemble, easy to put up.
And it has the glass doors and stuff, so I'm sure that helps a lot with dust.
That too. The main idea behind that was because we have a baby, and
Wow.
I was like, let's keep it behind glass. So that was the mindset there.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm trying to figure out how I can like maybe get these like kind of covered up a little bit because my
Yeah.
cats love to knock my minifigs off, just the
Hmm.
little things just right off the shelf.
Do they happen to be IKEA by chance?
They do.
Okay, great, because IKEA literally announced, I think yesterday, that they have these new covers for display cases like what you've got behind you, where there's like a
Wow.
little slide thing that slides into the shelf for like a colored backdrop. You can put your Legos in, and then there's like a glass case thing that you can slide over it, and it sits there on your shelf as is, and then you can use a little tool to like pull the shelf off, the cover off when you're ready to like switch things out. But it's meant to be like a glass covering for existing IKEA shelving. So look into that because that could help keep the dust out and the cats out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to invest, I think, because I got to do something about it. I The dusting is tough, but just having them knock off the stuff and kind of chew at some of the minifigs, I'm like, please, boys, don't
That
do
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
But that's all right.
Yeah,
Um,
look into that.
and I see you've got some minifigs back there. Are those just the figs that have come with the sets that you have? Or are you kind of trying to acquire some specific figs?
So there's some from the sets. I usually my stands that I make for my things have places for the minifigs that come with the sets on them. Those ones that are in that little case thing, those are just from like random stores that sell minifigs separately. And little like convention booths, flea markets, like little comic stores that sell the little Lego figs. And so I've seen a couple of these over. I have like a really cool Boba Fett one, a Ghost Vader, a Jedi Vader, like a really shiny gold C3PO, a Grievous. So like little fun things that I don't really see in sets. So I'm like, yep, I want that. I want that. I want that. Red Stormtrooper. Yes, thank you very much. So I just snag these little Lego set pieces, these little minifigs.
Gotcha. Yeah, the minifigs are pretty cool. And then I see up at the top you have a really cool. I think it's like Young Annie, then it's like Revenge of the Sith Anakin, and
Mm,
then Vader. That is a really cool art
yeah,
piece.
that's from a company called Displate. And I don't have it on the wall yet, but it's like the idea is it's a magnetic thing you can stick on the wall. You put the little magnet on the wall, you can stick that on there. But I saw them at San Diego Comic Con, got to talk with them for a bit, and I saw that and I was like, I want that. And they're like, yeah, it's an exclusive to the con. And I was like, I'm gonna get it. And so I got it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sick piece for sure.
Oh yeah. It's that whole Anakin life right there.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters.
I think so. For me, like the fire behind it is almost like the fourth stage, right? So you have young Anakin, then you have Jedi Anakin, you have Vader, but then you have the pyre behind Vader. I mean, yeah, I could see it as like Vader being epic and scary and Mustafar, epic. But I kind of view it as that fourth stage where he, gets his Jedi burial, his Jedi ritual right there at the end.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that makes total sense to me. 100%.
Just me
That's
geeking out over here, no worries.
No, I was like, man, Vader looks menacing, blah blah blah. But yeah, I think yeah, that's definitely That's a cool kind of, I don't know what it's called, like connection or draw to,
Like
but I
interpretation
don't
or
know.
something. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if they intended to do that, but I totally
don't
get
know
where you're
either, but
coming from.
it works.
Yeah, it definitely does. Do you have a favorite pop so far in your collection,
Yeah,
or one
so
that's like real?
I've got an Ezra. I've got an Ezra with a little loth cat that I love a lot. A
Yes.
buddy of mine gave it to me, and I was like really stoked about that. Second in place would be some of these graphic, almost like comic book style Funkos
Mhm.
that have like the pen and ink kind of looking on them. I have like a Vader and stuff like that. That are those kind of designs. It's really cool.
Yeah, I love the Rebels pop. That was like one of my first missions was to get the Rebels pops, like the whole.
Yeah, the whole
And now
crew.
they've started kind of adding some more to it. I know we've gotten like a Sabine, we've gotten quite a few Ezras. I know we're supposed to be getting a Kanan now that they announced at San Diego
Yes.
Comic Con finally, which I know they canceled a while back, but I guess it's coming back into rotation. So we'll have to wait and see. But I do love the comic cover pops. There's just something about the art to it. I
Mm-hmm.
love them. Those are my
It's
favorites
way
for
more
sure.
fun. Oh yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. And then these were the last pictures that you sent me. And I see you have quite a lot of helmets. Are some of these just Hasbro, or have you 3D printed some of them?
I've 3D printed the majority of my helmets. The ones in this picture that are not are the Vader, the Kylo, uh, the Stormtrooper, and then the Boba Fett concept, the white one. I collect those as I can because like I could totally print a Vader, but getting it to be super smooth and perfect like that is just going to be way too monotonous. And so I'm like, I'm just going to buy it. And even these aren't even all my helmets that I've made. I've made a Boba Fett for my dad. I've raffled off a couple. I've had a Kanan inspired clone pilot helmet that I raffled off, and I've got stuff in my garage like um, I think I have a Death Trooper ready to go, and a Grievous head that I can wear, and a K2SO head, and something not Star Wars, which is just like Loki's crown horn thing from the first Avengers. Things like that. So yeah, I love 3D printing and making helmets too. It's fun. I don't want to stop.
Gotcha. And then I see your little pit droid over there. That definitely looks 3D
No,
printed.
he is. Yeah, I call him Brad. Brad the pit droid.
That's pretty cool. And then you've got a ton of lightsabers. I
Yeah,
see. Do
yeah.
you have a favorite lightsaber?
I always have loved Obi-Wan's. Like that has been my favorite hilt just because I love Obi-Wan. He's my favorite Jedi out
Mm-hmm.
of all. I love his morals and he stayed true to himself even despite all of the heartbreak, sorrows, and pains he went through. Just really meaningful to me. I love it.
Yeah.
And but like as far as like the dopest lightsaber I've ever had in my hands, it's that crossguard, that long one there that's on the shelf top. Cal
Mm-hmm.
Kestis' crossguard. I'm like, this is literally so epic. It's so big.
Interesting. I'm surprised it wasn't like a Rebels like lightsaber,
I
like
don't know if
Kanan's, or
I
but I
don't
know.
have those ones yet, unfortunately. I'm working on that.
Yeah, I like Kanan's lightsaber is definitely like one of my top three for sure.
mm,
Because I just like that it can like pop in and out. Like you can just
hmm
assemble it on the go. Like I think it was very discreet to the Order 66 situation and like trying to keep it under wraps and not have just like a regular lightsaber walking around. So I really liked his. But I also thought Ezra's like little Glock saber or
Oh,
whatever it
it's
is
so cool.
was
Yeah.
like super unique.
Right? Way unique. That
Yeah.
one, and so that's a unique one. And then the Chimera one where it splits, right? And goes into two.
Oh
That one's
yeah.
really unique as well. Um, and then obviously when you have sabers like Stellan Geos or Buryaga next to my helmets, you can kind of see those ones. I 3D printed those ones, but that elegant High Republic aesthetic lightsaber hilt is always beautiful too.
That's true. That's true. The High Republic definitely has some cool lightsabers. I wish we would get more High Republic content so we could see
hmm
stuff kind of transition into live action. Even if they did it in animation, I think it would still be really cool.
Honestly, you're so right, and I'm hoping that I can get a couple of my cosplay and influencer buddies to do almost like a fan film where we bring to life some High Republic stuff.
That would be really cool. I'd be very interested to see that. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
hopefully.
But those were all of the pictures that you sent me. So I do have two final wrap up
Let's
questions.
do it.
The second to last is, what is your favorite piece in your collection?
The favorite piece that I've got in my collection is a big question. That is, I like have to sit here and think about it. As a collector, you love each and every one of your pieces as if they're like your children. And obviously, if you don't love something, you won't get it. Goodness. I think I would probably say my Chimere Stranger cosplay helmet that I had 3D printed. Just because for me, that has a lot of meaning, right? That's when I started really gaining traction online. When I made that and posted about it, that's what got Star Wars' attention. And I got on their radar because they thought that was cool. And so because of that, I've been able to, you know, go to events and have fun experiences. And so like that marks the start of my really big kind of content creation journey. And so yes, I love the Acolyte. Yes, I love the High Republic, but that has more meaning to me because of those stories behind it. And it's honestly like the one helmet that I like feel like is my best work yet. Just because it's so rugged, it has lots of weathering, it's got ruggedness to it, and to nail all that weathering, to nail all those details, I like really put my effort into it more than usual. And so I felt proud of it, and it has created unique opportunities for me. So I would probably say it's the Stranger's helmet.
That's awesome. I all around it seems like that's definitely your favorite piece, and for multiple reasons that are totally valid. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my last question is, since this is a collecting based podcast, if you could give one piece of advice to other collectors out there, what would it be?
Hmm. I think I would say don't be afraid to start collecting or, get the next piece of your collection because you're afraid of what other people might think. And it's becoming way more normal and way more mainstream to be a nerd. And it's so much more acceptable and, fun now because there's more of us. And so I think if you're starting a collection, don't be scared to do it, whether it's Funko Pops, Black Series figures, Lego, whatever it is, go for it. If you like trading cards, go for it. Like I'm not much of a card person myself, but I love seeing other people get excited about it. I think the overarching tip is just be excited and don't be afraid to be excited about what you like. Just go for it.
That's some awesome advice, and I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
So, could you say one more time, like where people could find you at, or if you have anything upcoming that you want people to be on the lookout for?
I don't think I've got anything in the upcoming months, but yeah, just on Instagram and TikTok, all the socials as Nerdy Brent. If you want to see my day-to-day lifestyle and just like more of my content, you're gonna want to be on the Instagram. That's where I'm most active and stuff. So yeah, I have a lot of fun showing off my lifestyle and having fun with nerd stuff there on Instagram. So yeah,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
I really appreciate you coming on. It was great getting to talk to you, learn a little bit more about you. It was really a pleasure having you on.
Thanks. I always love chatting and having friends, and talking about things that we love. It's always a good time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for coming on, and I will see everybody in the next episode. Bye,
Peace
guys.
out.